Okay, so part two, let's aim for some bliss. Let's aim for some peace. Let's aim for some connection to Mother Earth, the humans around us, anything that makes us feel calm and at peace, loved, lovable, and loving. So run that central meridian. This picks up the conscious brain, so it makes us be more in the here and now. Wakey, wakey, here and now. So not feeling anxious about what's to come, not feeling stressed about the past. Wakey, wakey, here and now. 999, 999, 999. 999, 999, 999. Okay, so let's see what shows up. Okay. Okay, interesting. So the hippocampus has got a couple of things that shut it down. The hippocampus is a memory pathway in the brain. It's a memory nuclei. And it is about the things that shut it down more than anything are fear of failure and fear of success. So in relation to fear of failure, fear of failure. Okay. So there's escape, submission, freeze in relation to fear of failure. The brain wants to run away rather than trying something new, something fresh, something that potentially we might not achieve the very, very first time. So just allowing that energy to seep out of our pores, seep out of our cells. It's okay to fail. It's okay to try something and not get the result the very first time. It's okay to give our dreams a go, and the things that are challenging to us, sometimes they're the things we need most, because they're the things that are going to move us forward on this planet the most. Fear of failure. Ah, that's better. And the second thing that shuts down the hippocampus more than anything else is fear of success. So as always, we have to ask, what does success mean to us? I would have considered my dad successful. He was incredibly, he was a terrible businessman. He was an accountant and he died at 44, but he was the most sought after accountant in the area. Unfortunately, he had a whole bunch of other vices going on as well. So in relation to fear of success. So for me, does success mean working my tuchus to the bone and dying at 44? All of my siblings, when we hit 44, we all went, phew. Interesting. So escape, submission, freeze for fear of success as well. So that's between a rock and a hard place, isn't it? So the brain wants to run away with fear of failure. The brain wants to run away with fear of success. And sometimes that success could be just walking around the block. What if we succeed in walking around the block with chronic fatigue? We can be on the couch for 2 days afterwards. What if we succeed in getting a business up and running? Does that mean we're going to be working 60 hours a week for the next 10 years? So succeeding, we need to reframe ourselves. What does it mean? What are we willing to do? What are we choosing to do in relation to the success we want? Okay, so the next little area showing up are the Broca's areas. So the Broca's areas in the brain are to do with speaking out and having the tone and the texture with the words as well. So there's an old pain and punishment circuit. So when we speak out and we don't get a good response backwards, or we speak out and we hurt someone's feelings, or we speak out and we get traumatized and abused and shut down. So there's an old pain and punishment circuit in there in relation to speaking out. I was chatting to a good friend of mine in Italy last year, and we were discussing that when we're talking about something controversial, lowering the voice so that it's not threatening is just one of those little things that helps to calm energy. Whereas that took me a long time to learn. I think with siblings and huge families, sometimes there's that need to be loud, to have your voice heard, and other people on the planet don't like it. Okay, let's go have a look at those little brokers areas again. Okay, good. No amygdala stuff in there again. So what's the next little area? Yeah, so we'll go next door to the brokers into the Wernicke's area. So pain and punishment again. So Wernicke's are the thoughts behind the words. So what happens when the thoughts we're having aren't appreciated? What happens when the thought we're having isn't the status quo? The thoughts we're having aren't supporting something that we know is a lie. It's really challenging, and our brain just wants to find something that makes sense to it. Okay, so popping that in again. Beautiful. Okay, so I might as well go through these 4 areas. So the next one is the auditory integration points. So auditory integration, that's about everything we're hearing. It's about our own internal dialogue as well. So sometimes the auditory integration points can be stressed because of our own internal thoughts or because of what other people are saying to us. And once again, that's escape submission free. So the brain wants to run away rather than hear. So in our brain, and that's, so sometimes when you're listening to someone, you say, sorry, can you repeat that? This little area can be shut down. Sometimes it's because of anxiety. We've been off on another tangent, you know, so, but sometimes it doesn't want to hear it. So it will shut it down. Okay. Next little one is rip and lip. Rip and lip is in behind the ear. It's pain and punishment again. So none of these integration areas are working very well. So integration for the words we speak, the thoughts behind the words, what we're saying to ourselves, what we're hearing from others, and then rip and lip. Rip and lip is taking in everything we're seeing and hearing, and it's deciding where in the brain all those visuals and auditory messages are going to go. So when it's in escape, submission, freeze, no, it's in pain and punishment. When it's in pain and punishment, it's not, we're going to be taking all the visuals and hearing stuff that we're hearing, and it's going to be putting it in a traumatic part of the brain rather than in informational areas of the brain. So therefore, when we're accessing that information, we're going to feel stressed. And everything on the planet is about making us feel stressed at the moment. I was chatting to someone yesterday who said the act of releasing fear at the moment is becoming a lost art, because there's trillions of messages coming at us every day about keeping us in fear and that keeping us in anger. And when we're in fear and anger all the time, quite often our frontal cortex and our integration areas just aren't up and running. Beautiful. So have a feel of your body at the moment. Where are you feeling from 0 to 10 on the bliss scale, with 10 being I'm feeling frickin' fantastic and 0. Oh, I'm feeling pretty happy. Let me see if there's anything else we need. We'll do a flower essence to finish off. Okay, so it's a bush flower, a bark flower essence, sorry. All right, the flower essence that showed up as Mimulus. Mimulus is for fear of known things, so we know what it is. And it's like, you know, the last few years, fear of COVID, fear of not being able to go to a hotel, fear of losing your job, fear of, you know, not being able to see your loved ones ever again. You know, there's been so many fears thrown out. Fear of not being able to, you know, it's sort of like it's been constant. So Mimulus is a flower essence that helps to calm those fear of the things we know. I release all fears and choose to live freely on the planet. I release all fears and choose to live freely on the planet. I release all fears and choose to live freely on the planet. Okay, lovely ones, take care. If you're on Facebook, check out my Awesome Energy Healers group, and talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye.